A federal judge has permanently blocked the Trump administration's attempt to deploy National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon. This decision, handed down on November 7, 2025, marks a significant legal challenge to the former president's use of federal power in response to local protests. But what exactly led to this ruling, and what are the implications? Let's dive in. In late September, then-President Trump announced plans to send federal troops to Portland. This move was ostensibly in response to protests outside a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) facility, sparked by the administration's immigration policies. The plan involved federalizing 200 Oregon National Guard troops and attempting to deploy another 200 federalized California National Guard troops. This action was taken under Title 10 of the Federal Code. Title 10 allows the president to deploy the National Guard if he deems there is a rebellion or danger of a rebellion against the authority of the government of the United States. But here's where it gets controversial. City and state officials in Oregon and California immediately filed a lawsuit challenging the president's authority. U.S. District Court Judge Karin Immergut, in a 106-page ruling, sided with the plaintiffs. She wrote that there was neither a rebellion nor a danger of one, nor was the president unable to execute the laws of the United States in Oregon. Interestingly, the ruling does allow the National Guard troops to remain under federal control for at least 14 days. This detail highlights the complexities of the situation. The response from the Trump administration and Oregon's governor provides contrasting perspectives. Assistant Department of Homeland Security Secretary Tricia McLaughlin argued that the president was acting lawfully to protect federal assets. White House spokeswoman Abigail Jackson echoed this, stating that the president would not ignore lawlessness. On the other hand, Democratic Oregon Governor Tina Kotek called the move a gross abuse of power, advocating for the troops to return home. Under Title 10, the president can federalize the National Guard to repel invasion, suppress rebellion, or execute those laws under specific conditions. These conditions include invasion, danger of invasion, rebellion, or if the president is unable to enforce laws with regular forces. Judge Immergut's decision followed an earlier temporary order and a 3-day trial where she found no credible evidence of out-of-control protests. She pointed out that the deployments exceeded the president's authority, particularly since local officials in charge of the ICE building protection had not requested the troops. The Trump administration has appealed the ruling to the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. During the trial, the evidence presented included testimony from law enforcement officials and hundreds of exhibits detailing protest activity. The demonstrations, which peaked in June, typically involved a couple of dozen people in the weeks leading up to the announcement. And this is the part most people miss. The legal battle centered on the interpretation of rebellion and the extent of presidential power. The judge's perspective, supported by the evidence, was that the situation in Portland did not meet the criteria for federal intervention under Title 10. This case raises critical questions about the balance of power between federal and state governments. Do you believe the president overstepped his authority? Should the federal government have the right to intervene in local protests, even if local officials disagree? Share your thoughts in the comments below.